What a first half that was for the Arlington Renegades. They are taking on the San Antonio Brahmas right now in San Antonio. It's halftime, and we're doing this recap a little bit different. I'm going to record the first half of stats and all that type of stuff at the halftime point, and then we'll see if I'm still wearing this jersey at the end of the game when we do the final second half of the game and going over it with two back-to-back games on today. Let's go ahead and dive right on in to the recap that I have wrote up for this game. As we started the broadcast, there was some breaking news by the ABC crew that Bob Stoops, who earlier in the week hurt his leg and is not at the game. Chuck Long will be taking over as head coach. He is in the booth, but the defensive coordinator will be carrying basically the challenge flag on the sideline to make that determination if they need to challenge. Luis Perez and Kellen Mond will be getting the start today for both the Renegades and Brahmas. I do hope that Chuck Long does get the backup quarterbacks in at some point to allow them to show their talent a little more so than we've seen in the red zone. Arlington will get the ball to start off the last game for both of these two teams. Price returns the kickoff and gets to the 25-yard line where they will start their drive. Right off the bat, Luis Perez gets pressure in his face and gets a pass right up the middle to Sal Cannella for 17 yards. Another pass up the middle for Perez to Vaughns for 10 yards. And then two back-to-back first down completions on this drive, and they are already into the Brahmas territory. Peyton gets the pass to the outside and runs it up the sideline for a gain of 7 yards. On 2nd and 4, Day Hunter gets the handoff and struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage and loses 1 yard. A big 3rd and 5 coming up here for the Renegades as Perez drops back, throws a quick pass to the left to Burnett and gets a first down with a gain of 7 yards. The very next play, we see a similar play that started out this drive with Perez throwing right up the middle to Sal Cannella for a gain of 21 yards, and they are in the red zone. Day Hunter gets the carry on first down and gains 4 yards. Ashlers comes in and rushes to his left and tries to lateral the ball to Day Hunter, and he doesn't quite get the ball secured and drops it. It becomes a live ball, and that is recovered by the Brahmas' Kobe Jones, and they take over at their own 13-yard line. What a huge red zone mistake. As I've said in prior videos and things like that with the Renegades all season long, they have had key mistakes in the red zone and truly have had a big issue that have cost them in the long run over the entire season. This drive went 8 plays for 62 yards and 4 minutes and 45 seconds off the clock. The Brahmas start out their drive with a handoff to Corbin up the middle, but he does not get anything. On 2nd down, Mon has to sprint out to his left and escape coverage and gets a pass off that appears to be incomplete, but at the last second, Harris makes the catch for a gain of 22 yards and a first down. Corbin gets the handoff right away and gains 7 yards. They are looking great on offense so far with a quick pass to Kirtland for 14 yards. Another first down, and Mon escapes pressure again and rushes for 5 yards this time. They continue the hurry-up offense format here, and Mon throws a quick pass to Stylianos for 5 yards and another first down as they have crossed over into the Renegades side of the field. Mon again on first down rushes to his left and gets another 5 yards. On 2nd down, Mon throws a quick pass to Kirkland for a gain of 6 and a first down, but Dean stops the play and reviews it, and the ball did hit the ground in the process, so it'll be a big 3rd and 5 for San Antonio here, and Mon steps back and throws to Corbin to the left, avoiding traffic, and runs for a first down with a gain of 11 yards. Excuse me. Corbin is then handed off the ball to the outside and just gains a total of 2 yards. On 2nd and 8, on a shallow cross, Kirkland is targeted again and gains about 3 yards on the catch. Another big 3rd and 5 coming up here on the Arlington 15. Mon gets goes back to pass to Stilianos and only gains 3 yards and is short of the first down line. They will kick a field goal here with Tristan Vizcaíno for a 30-yard field goal, which is good and puts 3 on the board. This drive went 13 plays for 76 yards and 7 minutes and 41 seconds off the clock. Arlington then starts their drive at their 25-yard line, and Perez passes a short pass to the left to Winstead to gain for a gain of 9 yards. On 2nd and 1, Day rushes up the middle for 8 yards for a first. Pass to Green for only 1 yard, and then on 2nd and 9, Perez steps back and passes to Vaughns for a gain of 6 yards, but fumbles the ball, and it bounces almost out of bounds, but a Brahmas player comes up, bats the ball back in, and at that point, it goes right into the hands of Sal Canella at the Brahmas 49-yard line. Dean Blandino stepped in, reviewed it to confirm the call in the field, and it was held up. Hunter then rushes up the middle for 3 yards, and that brings us to the end of the first quarter. On 2nd and 7, Perez throws a quick pass to Winstead for 22 yards and is pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Perez is currently perfect in this game at this point. He was 9 for 9 for 104 yards, but on the next play, it was an incomplete pass. Of course, go figure. Peyton then rushes for 2 yards on 2nd and 8. False start brings the ball back 5 yards. Luis Perez then completes a quick pass to Burnett for 7. Perez goes for it all on 3rd and 13 and is then hit after the throw, and it is roughing the passer, and it is a 15-yard penalty, giving the Renegades another shot and another first down. On the very next play, Day Hunter gets the handoff and rushes 9 yards to the left for a touchdown, putting 6 on the board for the Renegades. They go for a 2-point conversion. It is incomplete, and the attempt fails. This drive overall went 9 plays for 76 yards and 5 minutes and 22 seconds off the clock. That brings the score from 6-3, or brings the score to 6-3 with 12 minutes and 25 seconds left in the second quarter. Brahmas will start their next drive at their own 26-yard line. McFarland rushes left for 6 yards and is pushed out of bounds. But the Renegades defense comes up strong to having them punt the ball right back to him on a short 3rd and 1. They ended up going 3 and out, punting the ball back to the Renegades. Drive only went 3 plays for 9 yards and 2 minutes and 9 seconds off the clock. Arlington continues where they left off, with Perez throwing a catch to Winstead for 13 yards. Perez throws a quick pass on first down to Winstead again for 3 yards. And then on 2nd and 7, they do a quick pass behind the line with Peyton in motion, and he runs for a gain of 20 yards up the sideline and is pushed out of bounds at the Brahmas 45-yard line. Another quick pass on the drive for Green for 9 yards, and then a rush for 4 yards by Jones for another first down. Luis Perez gets a flea flicker back to him and throws a massive shot to Green for a gain of 24 yards up the middle, and they are back in the red zone. It is 1st and goal, and they go again to the air to the left, but it is incomplete with a pass intended for Winningham. On 2nd and goal, Luis steps back with a quick pass to Jones for 1 yard, 3rd and goal, and Arlington calls a timeout to regroup with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half. They end up drawing the defense off sides as they come out of the timeout, and that will move the ball 5 yards closer to the end zone, still 3rd and goal. Athlers comes in as they are at the 2-yard line, and they audible at the line, and there is so much confusion that they end up calling another timeout. But with the rules, they cannot call back-to-back timeouts during the same play. It ends up being a 5-yard penalty for delay game, and Luis comes back out, and at the yard line. Perez ends up hiking the ball and just stepping back, and then takes off right up the middle, runs it in for a touchdown for 7 yards, putting another 6 on the board. They go for a 2-point conversion, and Luis steps back and floats the pass up. This pass could have been intercepted, but Sal Canella is right under it and comes up with a 2-point conversion. It is now 14-3 as the drive went 9 plays, 81 yards, and 3 minutes and 51 seconds off the clock. On the kickoff return, Stephen Jones for the Renegades gets his hands on the ball and causes a fumble, and Renegades recover the ball on a turnover with Kirkland fumbling it for the Brahmas. The Renegades will start their next drive at the Brahmas 17 right in the red zone again. On first down, Jones rushes for 4 yards. On second down, Astlers comes in, and it ends up being a disaster of a play where he is sacked for a loss of 6. That'll bring up 3rd and 12, and Luis Perez will come back in, and they will end up taking another timeout to regroup. After the timeout, they go with a short pass and gain to Peyton, who gains 5 yards and brings up 4th and 7 with Havricks, I believe is how you pronounce his name, will come in and kick a 32-yard attempt, and it is right up the middle and good. It is now 17-3 with 4 minutes and 21 seconds left on the clock. This drive went 4 plays for 3 yards and 1 minute and 58 seconds used off the clock. On the kickoff, the exact same thing happened again with Fresca, and Arlington knocked the ball out on the return. This time, though, San Antonio recovers the fumble. Mon starts off with a pass right up the middle to Harris for 19 yards. On first, they end up throwing a pass again up the middle to Harris, but it is dropped. On 2nd and 10, Harris nearly gets a pick 6, but drops it right as he starts to take off with an interception. On 3rd, Renegades defense come up strong with a sack, bringing up 4th and 15, and they are having to punt the ball back to the Renegades. Drive went 4 plays, 15 yards, 2 minutes and 21 seconds off the clock as we come to the 2-minute warning before the punt. Renegades will start their next drive on their own 25-yard line. On first down, Perez hands off the ball to Day Hunter, but there is a penalty on the play with a face mask on Day, and that's an automatic first down and first down for 15 yards. Sell gets the pass on first down and gains 5 to cross the 50-yard line. But then there is a false start on the Renegades, pushing them back 5 yards. It is now 2nd and 10. Luis steps back and throws a beauty of a shot up the middle to Sal Canella for 22 yards. A couple of back-to-back passes to Day and Tyler Vaughns for each gain of 7 yards, bringing up another first down at that point. On first down, Perez throws a pass to Hunter, but it is dropped. Canella gets a false start on the next play, bringing up 2nd and 15. Hunter then gets a pass and gains 6 yards, and it is now 3rd and 9 with 7 seconds remaining. They will go for another field goal here, and it is good from 35 yards up the middle again, and that adds 3 points to the board. Play went 8 plays for 58 yards and 1 minute and 48 seconds left off the clock. It is now, as I believe, the score for the game now, essentially 20-3. Sorry about that. My math was not calculating in my brain for a second. Arlington then has to kick the ball back to the Brahmas with 3 seconds left. Again, there is trouble with the handling of the return, but they get it and they try to run it as far out as possible as we head into halftime. Now, when we take a look at halftime stats, let me pull up the game stats here. Currently, right now, as we are heading into the third quarter here in the Alamo Dome, we look at Luis Perez is 21 for 24, or 21 completions out of 24 attempts, 219 yards, 87.5 completion percentage, 104.7 quarterback rating. On the other end, Kellen Mond, 9 for 12 for 93 yards, 75% completion rating, 96.9 quarterback rating. When we look at the Arlington Renegades and their rushing, they are currently 13 attempts for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns. Day Hunter leading the way with 7 attempts for 32 yards and that 1 touchdown. Jones Jr., 2 attempts for 8 yards. Perez, 1 attempt for 7 yards with 1 touchdown. And Peyton, 1 rushing attempt for 2 yards. As for the San Antonio Brahmas, they only have 8 attempts for 27 yards. Not much going on there between Corbin and Mon and McFarland on this. But when we look at the Arlington Renegades at halftime with Sal Cannella leading the way with 4 completions for 62 yards, longest being 22. Winstead with 4 completions for 46 yards, 21 being his longest. Seth Green, 3 completions for 34 yards, longest being 24. Peyton, 3 completions for 31 yards, longest being 20. Tyler Vaughn's 3 completions for 24 yards, longest being 11. And the list just keeps going on and on and on. Hunter, Burnett, Tony Jones, Wingingham, they all have contributed to this. Again, 21 completions for 219 yards. San Antonio just is not getting the job done here at halftime. 9 completions for 93 yards, longest being 20. They've only had 12 of their guys targeted throughout the game. They need to pick up the overall passing. They got to pick up the run game here. Quite frankly, I think Arlington is going to dominate the rest of this game if they continue the way they are going. Could we see a change at quarterback for Arlington going forward, or will Luis Perez play out this game for the rest of the game? Same goes with Kellen Mond. Will he be playing in the second half? We'll find out. I'll be back and recording the rest of this video after this game as we head into the afternoon game. But we'll be back, and I will have the final stats and everything as we head into the second half of this game. We'll see you here shortly. As you can see, I still have a Renegades jersey on. They ended up winning this game, and let me tell you, nothing much changed in the second half for the Brahmas. Let's go ahead and go over the second part of this half. The Brahmas start the second half off on their own 22-yard line, and the Renegades defense continue to be a strong force or end up being strong and forcing the Brahmas to a 3-and-out, and they are punting the ball right back to the Renegades, coming up with nothing. This drive went 3 plays for 4 yards and 1 minute and 52 seconds off the clock to start the second half. Well, nothing changed really on offense, even for Arlington. They ended up coming out and going basically 3-and-out as well. Not much offense from either team to start the second half. Their drive would go 3 plays for 8 yards for 2 minutes and 2 seconds off the clock. Then the Brahmas get the ball back and start kind of driving down the field. They start on their own 25-yard line with Corbin rushing up the middle for 4 yards. And on 2nd and 6, Mon passes the Ward, but the Renegades pull on the face mask, and it gets called where the Brahmas get an automatic first down and 15 yards tacked on to the play or to the drive. On 1st and 10, Corbin rushes to the left for 5 yards. Corbin then gets it again on 2nd down and rushes for 21 yards to the right. Again, if it's working, you might as well continue it, right? Because on 1st down, he got another handoff for a gain of 13 yards. Mon keeps the ball on 1st and rushes for 4 yards. On 2nd and 6, Mon steps back and throws a pass to Gordon, and the ball drops out of his hands. Lovett is then in the game for the Brahmas and gets the handoff, but is tackled for a loss. It is a loss of 4 on 3rd and 6, which brings up 4th and 10. They will kick a 35-yard field goal, and it is kicked and goes right almost to the right side of the goal post and nearly misses it, but it does go in and is good for another 3 points for the Brahmas. This drive went 8 plays for 58 yards for 4 minutes and 17 seconds off the clock. Then the Brahmas get the kickoff. Stephen Jones gets the kick off return out to the Arlington 30, where they will start their drive. Perez hands the ball off to Jones for a gain of 1, a quick pitch and catch for Winstead for 7 yards, and then Ashlers comes in for 3rd down, and it is a rush call, and he tries to go up the middle, but is sacked for a loss of 3. They go 3-and-out on this drive again and are punting the ball back. Drive goes 3 plays for 5 yards and 1 minute and 17 seconds off the clock. Brahmas start their next drive out on their own 24 with Mon passing the Kirkland for 12 yards, but there was a flag and unnecessary roughness on the defense, and that tacks on another 15 yards. But after review, the flag is picked up. There was none. Lovett then on first down only gains a yard. And the problem with the Brahmas is they haven't really been able to drive the ball down the field all game. And let me tell you, it continues for the rest of the game. It's 2nd and 9 currently, and Mon steps back, has to run out of bounds or out of the pocket and throws it back in the middle of the field, and they gain a yard on it. Mon gets pressure right in his face, and he has to throw it away, and they will have to punt. This drive went 5 plays for 13 yards and 2 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock. Renegades get the drive underway at their own 34-yard line. A pass to Canella up the middle for a gain of 24 yards. Kind of reminded me of the first drive of the Renegades, how they continued up the middle with Canella for 2 different plays on the opening drive, which really helped them out. Perez in with handing off to Day Hunter, Perez throws the ball to Day Hunter for a pass and completion of 14 yards and another first. They are on the move again for the first time in the second half. Another quick pass on a first down to Peyton for a gain of 9. As the clock strikes 0, we head to the fourth quarter. With a shot to the end zone to start the fourth quarter, Tyler Vaughns is overthrown, and that'll bring up a huge 3rd and 2 for the Renegades. There was nothing open for Perez on 3rd and 2, and he tries to take off, and Lawrence for the Brahmas brings the pressure and sacks him for a loss of 3. Brings up 4th and 5 and a field goal, but before the snap, the play is stopped as Arlington is challenging the last play that there was holding on Vaughns. But after review by Dean Blandino, it was ruled no holding, and Arlington is charged with the timeout and the no ability to challenge the rest of the game. They will go back to the field goal attempt at 39 yards, and it is kicked right up the middle, and that brings the lead to 17, where it is now 23-6. This drive went 6 plays for 47 yards and 2 minutes and 43 seconds off the clock. Brahmas start their next drive on their own 26-yard line, and Corbin rushes left but doesn't get any gain. On second down, Mon passes short left pass to Ward for 9 yards. On 3rd and 1, Corbin rushes right for 1 yard and gets the first down. Mon then goes to the house and overthrows Harris, which could have easily been a touchdown at this point. But on the next play, Mon completes a quick 4-yard pass to bring up 3rd and 6. But there is a false start on the play, driving them back 5 yards, bringing up a long 3rd and 11. Mon gets some massive pressure and has to throw it away. They end up punting the ball back, but there is a flag on the kick, and there was holding on the kicking team, which will tack on after the kick. Drive went 6 plays for only 10 yards and 4 minutes and 24 seconds off the clock. With the Renegades getting this to start their drive out at their own 25-yard line with a penalty, Tony Jones gets the handoff for a gain of 3 yards. Luis Perez steps back and hands off to Jones again, and he gets to the outside, and there is now a flag on the play, which will bring it back. It'll be 2nd and 17 with a false start. Perez gets pressure in his face and launches the ball up the middle, but it is overthrown to Winstead. They will now be working with a 3rd and 17. A quick pass up the middle to Jones for a gain of 10, but there is another flag on the play, and it is blindside block on the Renegades. And that'll bring up 4th and 17. As it was declined. They will punt the ball back. Drive went 3 plays for 3 yards and a minute and 52 seconds off the clock. King ends up punting the ball 59 yards and setting up the Brahmas at their own 25-yard line. With 6 minutes and 54 seconds left in the game, Mon throws a quick pass to the right side for a gain of 6. Handoff to Sheridan for a gain of 4 and a first down. On first down, there was a lot of pressure and a huge blitz in the face of Mond, and Johnson gets the sack for Arlington for a loss of 6 yards. On 2nd and 16, Mon runs out to his right and loses a yard on it with running out of bounds before the line of scrimmage. It is now 3rd and 17. They find themselves in a similar position as Arlington was in the last drive. And with a short pass from Mon, it is dropped, and this will bring up 4th and 17, and they will punt the ball back again. Renegades get the ball back at the San Antonio 40 after a bad punt. Now, there's a little bit of weird things that happened here. They originally punted the ball, and there was a illegal hit to the head on the receiver for Arlington that got the ball. That was then discussed by Party on the sidelines to the referee, which was then communicated up to Dean Blandino. He was debating on challenging it, but after it was reviewed and everything, it was still determined that it was an illegal hit to the head, despite the fact that Party was saying it was shoulder to shoulder, and then they ended up re-kicking the punt at that point. I think the Renegades elected to re-punt the kick with that penalty. So at that point, it was another bad punt again. And again, they got the ball back at the San Antonio 40. After 2 quick plays, we were already at 3rd and 8 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds on a running clock. There was a holding on the defense on 3rd down, which brought up an automatic first. The clock ran down to the 2-minute warning at this point. Ashlers comes in and tries to throw a sidearm pass quickly, and it is intercepted. The drive ended up going 3 plays for 7 yards and 1 minute and 43 seconds off the clock. With less than 2 minutes remaining in this game, it is all but over for Mond, or all but over for the Brahmas. There's a possibility they could do something, but it was not looking good when Mond came out, threw a quick pass for 10 yards to Ward for the first. Mond steps back and then is sacked for a loss of 7, and they take their second timeout with 1 minute and 31 remaining. It gets down to 4th and 2, and it is an incomplete pass, and the ball is turned over on downs to Arlington, and Arlington ends up downing the ball to win the game. Arlington, just like the Roughnecks, end up ending their season 5-5 on the year. And again, with how close all their losses were this entire season, they could easily be going to the playoffs next week instead of either the Battlehawks or the Defenders. But unfortunately, the season comes to an end for both of these teams here, and we will start heading into the offseason for both the Brahmas and Renegades, which does bring up a lot of questions we'll talk about after the season about coaches and everything like that and how that's going to work out in 2026 for both teams. When we go to the final stats of the game, Luis Perez was 26 for 32 for 283 yards, 81.3 completion percentage, 103.5 quarterback rating. Holton Ashler's 0 for 1, 0 yards, and an interception. Not a great turnout for him. I was surprised he didn't get more playtime in the long run in this game, and it was just strictly Luis Perez in the game for the entire thing. When we look at Kellen Mond, he went 17 for 27. Didn't really have that bad of a day. 150 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, 63% completion rating, and 77.7 quarterback rating. When we look at the Arlington Renegades rushing game, 20 attempts for 49 yards. Not much obviously happened in the second half when I went over the stats in the first half video. Day Hunter ended up with 9 attempts for 37 yards and that touchdown, and the rest pretty much stayed the same. San Antonio Brahmas rushing was near obsolete. Nothing again happened really in the second half. 19 attempts for 75 yards as a team. Corbin was their main rushing leader here, and he is absolutely amazing. I would be shocked not to see him on a NFL roster this upcoming season, but what's sad about that is Corbin was with the Michigan Panthers earlier this season and got traded. He could easily be going to the playoffs next weekend, but of course with that trade, his season comes to an end here, but he did have a high 10 attempts for 55 yards on the day. Arlington Renegades receiving, on the other hand, Sal Canella came through with this game, 5 completions for 86 yards, longest being 24. This dude deserves to be on an NFL roster, end of story. I hope, as much as I'm an Arlington Renegades fan, I hope he comes back next year. But at that same token, I hope he doesn't. I hope he is on an NFL roster because he deserves to be on one. Isaiah Winstead, 5 completions for 53 yards. Javonte Payton, 4 completions for 38 yards. And then Green, Hunter, Vaughns, Jones, Burnett all came through with some clutch completions in this game. Again, they went 26 completions for 283 yards, longest being 24, which came from Sal Canella, and they were targeted 33 times in the game. The San Antonio Brahmas, not much receiving happened in the second half for them. Total receivers went 17 completions for 150 yards. The leader of the day, Jacob Harris, 2 completions for 39 yards. Greg Ward, 3 completions for 34 yards. And then Jonte Kirkland for 3 completions for 29 yards. Overall, not a bad game, but a lot of costly mistakes for the Brahmas ended up costing them this game. We'll see what happens in the final game of the Week 10 UFL matchup with the Birmingham Stallions that is playing right now. So I'm going to go catch that, and we'll see you for the recap of that game. And thank you again for joining me here. See ya on the flip side.